Thanks again for joining us. We have the UConn student athletes with us. A few reminders if you're just with us for the first time. It's a courtesy to your fellow media members as well as the coaches and student athletes. Please silence all cell phones. Provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conferences. If you're joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for any questions. And if you're recording press conferences on cell phones and cameras, well, no recording on cell phones and cameras. So the UConn student athletes are with us. We have sophomore guard Jordan Hawkins, junior guard Andre Jackson Jr., redshirt freshman forward Alex Karaban, senior guard Tristen Newton, and junior forward Adama Sanogo. Any questions? We'll open it up right here.
Andre, Griffin Haas with News 10 ABC here in Albany. Just what does it mean to you to be able to come here and play in the NCAA tournament in your hometown?
I mean, it's awesome being able to be around my family and then also my friends, and just being in a place that's really familiar is awesome.
You're good.
Dave Borges, Hearst, Connecticut Media. For anyone really, Coach was saying how he wanted to keep things looser this year and a little more relaxed than maybe going into the tournament last year. Do you feel a little bit more relaxed and looser this year, and how has that gone about over the last week or so?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think we're really trying to enjoy the moment that we're in right now. We've worked hard for this moment, and he's made it clear to us that it's hard to make it to March Madness, so take it all in, enjoy it, then when it's game time, we just got to show up and be ready to play.
Back right? All the way back.
Hi, Andre. Lexi with Big Board Sports. Nice to see you again. We talked to Marcus yesterday. We asked him who the better basketball player was. He said overwhelmingly him, before he started to talk about praise about how great of a basketball player who you are. Who is the better brother basketball player, one? And two, what kind of similarities in your games do you think you two have with each other?
I would definitely say myself, but I think we both bring like an intensity to the game and a passion to the game that you don't see all the time. I think we really grew that from playing against each other growing up a lot. Like every day in the backyard, just playing against each other, beating each other up. So I think we both play similar for sure.
Thanks. Mike Anthony from Hearst in Connecticut. I'd like to ask Jordan and Alex, what are some things you've learned from Andre in regards to what it takes to be a college basketball player and what it takes to be a successful member of your particular program?
It's relentless effort every day and practice, bringing that every day. Just that competitiveness he brings every day in practice. I think I learned the most from him. He brings it every day. You gotta be an everyday guy to succeed in this program. So, yeah.
I agree with what Jordan said, and then I also just say the communication skills he has, how he is as a leader, just bringing the best out of everyone, and then not always being afraid to what he says to help better out the team, and just always picking out the details on what to do better.
Hi, Adam Schindler from the Daily Gazette. Hey, Andre, was getting to this weekend knowing that it was here in Albany a goal for you all year, and beyond that, or did you kind of keep that out of your head? And also, how quickly were people in touch with you as soon as the draw came out last week?
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about where it was going to be. I was just thinking about trying to make a run and just trying to have as good a season as possible, really. Once I found out it was in Albany, it was definitely a cool thing and definitely something that not a lot of people experience is playing NCAA tournament games in their own hometown. But I'm definitely looking forward to just getting out there on the court and playing.
Front.
Alex, Gavin Keefe from the New London Day. How do you guys, as obviously the favorite to win this game, how do you kind of go out and be able to play pressure-free, and just go out and play your game?
Yeah, we just, coach has been talking about respecting our opponent every time we step on the court, so not to take them lightly. And we know they're a great team from scouting them. They've won the MAC, so we know that we'll be in for a test. So we just got to go out there and play our style of basketball. We got to be excited. We're playing in March Madness, so that should get us going. And then, we always have last year in the back of my mind, so, just to overcome that and I believe this team is something special in us.
In the back.
Lexi Swat with WNYT again. This is for anyone. Earlier, Coach Pitino said that UConn is not a 4 seed. He expected, almost alluding that he expected you guys to be higher. What does it mean to kind of have that confidence from, a legendary coach like Rick Pitino, before you've got a battle against him tomorrow?
Start with Jordan.
I mean, that's real nice for him to say that. I mean, we've been working hard all season to get ourselves in this position, so he's going to take care of business. So, yeah.
I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach, so just to hear him praise us like that is something special for him to realize how good of a team we really are. So, we're just going to go out there, play our style of basketball, and continue to prove why we should have been a higher seed.
Back left.
For Andre or Jordan, you guys, third year in a row, you're in the tournament. You've had the previous 2 years have been very good, but you haven't had the March you wanted. How much do you guys hear about how important this month is, and how has Coach tried to loosen you guys up?
I mean, he's done a great job of just keeping our head level, not getting too high, not getting too low. I think that's the perfect approach you gotta take with this type of tournament. So yeah.
How important this month is for this program?
I mean, this month is obviously important. I mean, we work all year long in practice and in games to get to this point. Not every team gets to make it here, so this is definitely the biggest stage. But at the end of the day, we're just going to stick to our identity and stick to what we do all season. And I think that's good enough to get us some wins in this tournament. I think we're one of the better teams in this tournament for sure.
Have time for a couple more in front.
Joe Ruda, Hartford Current. Tristen, your first tournament, what's this experience been like for you? Do you feel loose? Do you feel, ready for tomorrow? Or is it, a lot of energy and excitement?
Nah, it's definitely a lot of energy and excitement. I feel like I'm ready. Having people that's been here before and tell me what to expect is pretty much helping me out. So I'm not too overwhelmed, but definitely excited and ready to play.
Mark Singleace from the Albany Times-Union. What have you learned so far about Iona, and specifically what kind of challenges they may present for you guys tomorrow?
No, they have really good 2 lead guards, and that's going to be like the key focus of their offense is trying to get those guys to not be as effective as shooters and not let them get any open shots. And then also just running through the scouts and the plays and stuff like that, remembering that, and really just locking in on the details, and also not forgetting about ourselves and going out there and playing with each other and play with that same edge that we do every other time we step on the floor.
Anyone else?
This is for Adama. Adama, this is Gavin Key from the London Day. How can last year's tournament experience kind of help you kind of get into this game?
I think losing our first game last year, watching that game, we did a lot of mistakes that we're gonna make sure we don't do that tomorrow. Because like you said, I played much more than 2 years ago. So we're gonna make sure the mistake we did last year game, we don't do those same mistakes this year. So yeah, we're gonna learn from it.
Wayne Norman, UConn Radio. Adama, can you talk about the matchup in the middle tomorrow and how important rebounding is to tomorrow's game and the entire NCAA tournament for the Huskies?
Yeah, Iona is a team that go to offensive one, so I think they're averaging 12 offensive one a game, so we know that. Watch film on them, so we know we gotta be we're one of offensive, one of the best team offensive one in the country, so we gotta make sure we do that tomorrow for us to win a game. We know we got box out because we know they're go to glass. Yeah.
One more.
Griffin again with News 10. Andre, just what were the conversations like with, especially family, when they found out that you were going to be coming here to play and they could come watch you?
I haven't really had too many conversations, but my mom texted me as soon as it happened. She said she's so happy, and that's really the only person I talk to a lot. So, yeah, that's all. I mean, I talked to my brother a little bit, but other than that, I've been kind of just keeping my circle small right now and focusing on the team.
Thanks again for joining us. We have UConn head coach Dan Hurley here. A few reminders again. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, the coaches, student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Provide your name and media affiliation when you ask a question. If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. And recording press conferences on cell phones and cameras is prohibited today. So we have UConn head coach Dan Hurley again, and we'll open it up to any questions. Back left.
Zach Brazillo, New York Post. What's up, Dan? How are you?
Zach, what's up?
Dan, you guys have obviously done very well the last 3 years, but we don't know how important March is. The players have said you've tried to loosen things up to take some pressure off. What exactly have you done, and how important do you think that is for them not to feel the weight of the world on them to have to win games here in this tournament?
Yeah, I think number one, we have the best team we've had. We've played, to the quality of a top 10 team this year, overall body of work. Obviously at the high end, we've probably played as well as anybody in the country. The middle part of the season, we went through a tough stretch. I think schedule caught us. And in the last 11 games, obviously we've won 9 of them. We lost a one-possession game at Creighton, and then we obviously lost that semifinal game to an outstanding Marquette team where we just didn't shoot the ball well. So the message with the group is, just play to your identity, be who we've been the whole year. We don't need an extraordinary performance. We don't need a Kemba moment from anyone. We've got a deep team. We've got a strong team. Enjoy the open practice. Enjoy the media. Enjoy everything that comes along with this. Being invited to this exclusive tournament.
Both in front here.
Dan, Gavin Keefe from the London Day. Have you played anybody like Iona this year? I mean, can you compare them to anybody?
Yeah, I think at times, with some of the pressure, we've seen from, I'd say Marquette, the way they'll get into you at the defensive end of the court, they may resemble it. Obviously they've got the matchup zone. They'll play the man with some switching, get a couple different pressures. You get a diamond, you get a face guard man, a run and jump. Obviously, we started, I think Sunday we had a pretty good chance. Before practice on Sunday, it's like I was watching the Yale game before we practiced, because I was pretty convinced we were going to play Yale or Iona. So we obviously started to work on press offense. That Sunday, even before the selection show, because you could almost read the mind of the committee.
Here, and then we'll come back over.
Dan, Adam Zagoria from Zag's blog. Bobby won last night. Did you get a chance to speak to him today at all? What's it like for both of you to be in the tournament? Has your dad said anything new, interesting lately? And what would it be like if both you and Bob are able to keep going in the tournament?
Yeah, we obviously hope that we have a great showing and are successful. It was awesome to watch just his team come out and just make shots. I mean, just coming out early in the game and just making shots takes a lot of pressure. So, getting off to a fast start certainly helped with Bob. My dad gave me, on Monday he gave me his full assessment of Iona and how I exactly needed to play this game out. So it was a long conversation. I have not talked to him since. It was so it'll be cool to have my parents here. My dad. I know he takes a lot of pride in his 2 sons. Being on this big stage, and I know it means a lot to him.
Yeah, Dan Mori from the Hartford Courant. Dan, obviously, anywhere Patino is, it creates a certain buzz around him. Does that make it more difficult to do what you've set out to do, which is to have your team more relaxed, less uptight going into this game than maybe another opponent that didn't have a coach like him?
I would say probably maybe the opposite, just because Coach Patino is involved. It's taken some attention away from maybe our performance last year versus New Mexico State. But I just think our mentality right now. Enjoy the lead up to the selection show. Obviously, enjoy the opportunity to be in this incredible sporting event. Right? It's it's one of the biggest events, sporting events our country has to offer, along with the Olympics and the Super Bowl, right? And just stick to our identity. We don't need to stray far from who we've been this year. We play top 20 defense. We're a top 10 offense. We can dominate you on the backboard. We just have to go out and do what we've done for the last 5 months. And that should put us in a pretty good spot.
Mark Singolace from the Albany Times-Union. Hi, Dan.
What's up, Mark?
Andre coming home, obviously getting a lot of attention. Can you say what kind of year has he had, and how do you feel about the way he's playing coming into the tournament?
Yeah, Andre, obviously the foul trouble in the Marquette game really hurt us because he's an invaluable player. The impact he has all over the court, what he does on the backboard, both glasses, as like a shutdown cornerback on the defensive end. And then he's figured out how to play offense when people are playing him soft. So I think, coming into that Marquette game where he got in foul trouble, he had really found kind of cracked the code based on how he was being guarded. And when he's on, he's one of the most exciting players to watch in college basketball. Action Jackson.
Dana O'Neill with The Athletic. Dan, I know nothing's settled, but let's pretend for argument's sake that Rick Pitino comes back to your league. You're getting ready to play against one of his teams now. How much harder and better does that make the Big East?
Oh, you're going to make me speculate? Yeah, listen, I'm. Sometimes you look at the Big 12, you're a little. Big 10, Big 12, they're very fortunate where pretty much every conference game that those guys play are quad 1 or quad 2 games. So anything that happens relative to programs being super strong in our league is only going to be beneficial to the Big East, right? So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to be unfair to those kids at Iona that have won 14 in a row and have played their tails off to put their team in this spot. But every team in the Big East being at their absolute best is best for everybody.
Roger Rubin from New York Newsday. Hey, Dan.
What's up, Roger?
Sort of a similar take to Dana's question, but a little bit different. With this thing about Pitino and St. John sort of in the back of your mind, how did the addition of Miller coming back to the conference and coaching and being successful, how do you think that was good for the conference?
Well, I think my first year, the COVID year, we were we were 3 at large, and obviously Georgetown won the tournament, so we got 4 in. But really, we really only got 3 in because Georgetown made a run after not having a great season. So, I just think the more at large quality programs that are going to be, again, like quad 1, quad 2 games at the worst, I think it's what's best for the league, and it's what we all want. The worst games you play on your schedule are like the ones that could wreck your resume. So,
I have time for 2 more. In the middle.
Yeah, you mentioned last year's performance. Do you feel pressure to win in March? You've recruited really well. You've top 20, top 10 team, but you haven't won a tournament game yet.
Yeah, you feel pressure, but you feel pressure the whole year. You feel pressure when you lose at Providence and you got Providence coming to your campus and you have to win that game. You feel pressure when you go play at Xavier, at Providence, you lose 2 games in a row, and now you play Creighton at home, who's beaten you 5 straight times since you've been in the league. This is the pressure business, and I'm fortunate that the way I was raised, my upbringing in the game, I've been around this my whole life. I've existed in this world. I've been like engineered to experience this since I was like a little kid. So. You know what's on the line. You want to honor the season we've had, and I think probably the most pressure comes from knowing that you have a team that, potentially can do some special things this month.
One more.
Hey, Dan, could you, aside from the Action Jackson in-game stuff you just described, can you just tell me about what's so valuable about the way Andre carries himself as a member of your program and what you've tried to build here?
Yeah, I mean, when the game starts feeling, college game, starts feeling like the G League sometimes, right? With just players leaving and, getting a better deal somewhere else. Just the gratefulness to be able to coach somebody that's like a throwback, an old school. All he cares about the team, doesn't care if he takes a shot, doesn't care about his valuation, I don't know, his NIL valuation. He's just a throwback, man, that only cares about UConn basketball. And I don't want him to want it so bad tomorrow for us and for his teammates and for the program where he can't go out and perform. Because when he's at his best, he's such a unique and exciting player. But, I just think that there's not going to be, you're not going to get an opportunity to coach many old school, true captain type players like him. They're just going to be so rare.